on this video, I believe you're rich. My name is Marco Banduli, I'm a cinematographer from Germany, and today we're looking at this cool cinematic, artistic, shot of film music video. And I wanted to introduce you in the world of shooting on film and describing what are the benefits, how you actually do it, and why do you need a hell lot of money to do it. So this is the first shot we're looking at, and you already notice, damn, this looks aesthetic. But why does it look it that way? When you're shooting on film, most of the time, your whole budget goes into, I want to shoot at something at film, because the storyline and the overall mood of the video is very natural and not that special. That's the area where most of us say, okay, I want to shoot something on film to make the project a little bit cooler, a little bit more organic, and a little bit more rememberable. And that's what they did here. This whole commercial music video, we have only this actress and another one, and we're just at real locations. The benefit on shooting on film is when you just put the camera somewhere where highlights are, like this window, red colors, skins, overall the scene just looks good. It just looks good because film, this is probably a Kodak, film has just this really nice texture and color rendition. You can replicate it with color grading a bit, but it's really difficult. The real thing always looks a bit better. What it's really good at is highlights. Film's biggest skill is highlight, roll off, but his biggest weakness, therefore, is darkness. So film gets really noisy over time, but it's no problem, because what is noise on a film camera? Grain. And we like grain. Grain looks good. So, but why does this look, or that shot look cool? When you're going into a room, into a location, you always search for what gives it character, what makes it special. We have here this huge red curtain, then this dirty mattress, this image on the wall, this heat thing, and this door. Only thing is random is this closing piece with the stand around here. But overall, this whole thing just screams something special. Don't shoot your videos at white rooms with nothing in them. Dirt is cool. We cinematographers like dirt, because dirt has texture. It has something that feels. It's not bright, it's not dark, it's just something extra. And this is what they are going for in this shot. And when you're working with a lot of stationary shots, you have time for composition. Here, we have this really nice leading lines into this corner. Then we have this bright light sources as our key light. And now, when we put everything on thirds, you can see she is in a very unusual space. Most people would frame their actor here or bigger on this frame, but we want to make it more aesthetic. Let the room breathe. Overall, let your scenes breathe, show something. When you have something to show it, and put your actor in a bit of abstract situation where this also gives the feeling of something is unusual, something is off, when you put him in a location where he normally wouldn't be there. Also, as you can see, she's strategically placed in between those door and curtain because of her skin color. Here she would be too bright, here it would be too similar, so we get her exactly in between, so she pops a lot more. Maybe from the lighting perspective, you can see it looks like a butterfly outside, so this could be a set, because this looks very unusual. But when it's a set or a location where they want to control more the lighting, they will put a huge 20 by 20 butterfly across the windows and then just blast with big lights, M40s, M18s, or maybe the LED variant. What a lot of people now use is Evoke 2400s or Aperture Storms. And just blast it here so that we get this nice key on her. And then on the next, you probably put just off camera some negative fill so that the lines is not bouncing back. We get this nice half-lit look. Here we're going in for the close-up, and then now we do the exact opposite and put her on the other side of the turds. Still, again, a nice composition, and put your actors more often on windows, because windows create most of the time, even without diffusing it, a really nice key light, and it gets really hot, as you can see, but the dynamic range of the film can handle it, so we get still this nice natural roll off, but I still think we have to put negative on the side just to be sure. Also, a huge benefit from shooting on film is most of the time using a lot of vintage lenses, which also underlines this atmosphere. We get this nice halation and a little bit of glow from our highlights, and overall it just underlines the theme. This cool thing when shooting on film, everything that has to do with shooting on film makes the film look. I know it sounds stupid, but it's just not that you shoot on film, but the combination of lenses, how the scanning process works, the Kodak look, everything adds up. Then next thing I want to talk about is here I put up the portrait shot, and as you can see, the color rendition here, it's amazing. These blues, the skin tones, and what a lot of people nowadays do is they correct the skin tones. First of all, yeah, that sounds very smart. I don't want green, don't want magenta tones. But when you're shooting on film, your skin most of the time has a tint. So it's more leaning towards green, more towards magenta. It's not overall right to create perfect skin tones, because that's always the look. It doesn't look bad when it's done right. I can show you the shot before. As you can see, this also looks very green. The film stock here gives a really greenish, warmish skin tones, and it still looks good. It doesn't look wrong. It looks nice. So experience a little bit with that. Most of the time you probably notice when you're looking, use something like in DaVinci or Film Convert or Dehancer, that your skin tones are shifting and you think, oh, it looks great. And then you notice, it's not on the line, so you correct it, and now it feels somehow off. And that's the reason, because it should be in this color film stock a little bit more green or magenta. Now back into this image, how we shoot actually on film. So we have different kind of rolls where you have to buy 200, 400 and 1000, I think. And the recording time is very, very low. On the biggest roll, you can record around 11 minutes. So when you're shooting a project on film, there is not with, okay, we do this take, this take, this take. Every shot has to be planned and hopefully works at the first or second time, because these rolls cost several $100s. It can depends on the film stock, from 800 to 1,500. Maybe there are film stocks that cost $3,000, I don't know. And that's out of my budget. And yeah, that's the first big difficult thing you have to encounter. The next only does this cost $1,000, go for euro. Then the next thing is you have to scan these films, you have to evolve the film. And this costs also a few $100, and then maybe 400, it depends then where your connection's at and what studio you're going to. And then the scan again, because now we have this made film, and now we have to make it digital because we want to cut it, color grade it maybe a little bit. Costs also again a $300. And now you just for 11 minutes of shooting are nearly at $2,000 to euro. And now that's the reason why not a lot of people shooting on film. Most of the time I find it really funny when magazines write, Roger Deakins decided to shoot on IMAX. What a great idea. Most people would shoot on IMAX, but it's expensive. It's not it's some genius move to do it. It just is really expensive. And when you have the budget of a few $100 million, you can make it with IMAX. That's the last thing you have to think about it. This is also again a really nice shot that demonstrates the latitude and the dynamic range of film. Because if you ever put a camera on a car mount and shot through it, you probably notice, damn, it gets really dark in here or pretty bright in here. But look how this film managed to keep all the steep details on the dark, on the bright parts, without making it look HDR. Film always looks natural, not HDR-ish, even though we have this much dynamic range. Look, we have all the details in the sky, but also all the details here in the skirt and in the wheel. And it just looks great. I also think most of the time when people using a film camera, they tend to shoot it the way that we shot a few decades ago. But I think using film and using new techniques that we're using nowadays really is something special. Not a lot of people do. Why just you do a 360 gimbal shot with a film camera or something like that, or mounted on different ways, like here on the car. Just use these old tools with modern day techniques. I think would look really cool. Here now we have this couple on the beach, and everything here again is just the film camera handling this attitude. No, I'm handling the attitude, latitude and dynamic range. But now when you're shooting like this, these guys has to perform. We have this really nice expressions and acting and emotions, because everything we do as a cinematographer is underlying what our actors are doing to support their mood and their acting. So it doesn't matter at all if everything looks good when the performance of these guys is lacking. But look at this glance, and his glance, it just looks, it screams something. Another thing is, how do you monitor film? So because you probably think, when it's shot on film, there's no digital output. How can I see my footage? There is a way over a BNC cable from the camera that you have a preview, but the preview is SD quality and really soft. So this is not enough for focus pulling. So how do you focus? So you have a viewfinder, and there should be everything fine to the viewfinder. But this is the moment you sometimes see on cameras, this metering tool that says you how much meters, centimeters or inches someone is away from the camera. And then you also have most of the time a second AC that is measuring with the tape the distance, so that we can go from the sensor or from the film side to the person, then the focus puller knows how far the person is away. It becomes much more difficult. And when you look in a lot of movies nowadays, on your good 75-inch TV, you see a lot of these old films are hell a lot often out of focus, because it was more difficult than on digital. Also, how you get the right exposure when you don't have a preview. This is where we use light meters. When you want to shoot something on film, try it first as photography. You have to really know and have a feeling for it, where to expose it, because you put a light meter around his face and you know it, okay, my film roll, you buy them at fixed ISOs, is 400, 800. You put this in your light meter, then you go to your actor, make a click. When your shutter is on 50, then you know, okay, your aperture should be f8. Then you have to encounter it, okay, I don't want to shoot at f8, I put so much ND, and then you have to calculate the right exposure. It's a little bit annoying, a little bit slow, but most of the time, because you have so much latitude where you can push it back, you overexpose a little bit, so you have more room to work with. So if you enjoyed the video, I really would appreciate a subscription from you. My name is Marco Bagnoli, and we see you next time.